Before these beautiful eyeshadows came into my life, what was going through my head? What inspired this purchase? We're going to do a little flashback and then flashback forward so you can see what all I got. My name is Alyssa. If you like makeup and beauty content, maybe you'll consider subscribing to my channel, and you can also give this video a thumbs up. Now, what was I thinking?
There's a part of me that's definitely considering rebuying this. I know it's a different packaging, which kind of, I kind of actually liked this vibe. It kind of makes me think, I guess, about traveling a bit because it's, with the picture like that. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm really considering just because I like how compact it is. But I feel like the new one is in a plastic and this is a cardboard thing, which I know it is kind of gross looking, but I've had this for 6 years and it's gotten used so much. So, I mean, it's allowed to look a little rough, okay? But yeah, I bought my Blend Bunny palette as sort of like my neutral replacement for a lot of my neutral shadows and palettes just getting too old to be used. But then I'm like, wait, it's so big, I can't really travel with it. And it's also a little too complicated almost. Like, I don't know, I hate to say that, but it's got so many shades that I like that, for something like this where it's like, okay, I just want to go more neutral. I want to go a little warmer, want to go a little cooler. Maybe I just want to put like a more smooth shimmer on, nothing too wild, or I can put a little more wild one like on top of it and kind of do that. And then I have like deepening, and I know I talked about not liking these beige types of shades before, but that's the lightest thing I have. So I don't know, part of me is like, do I get something else? Do I get this again? Or another thought I'd had was being able to buy, like I like Sydney Grace's mattes, and so like, do I try to find similar mattes from their collection, and buy like those singles? Because maybe, I mean, I don't necessarily need these. Like I use them because they're there, but maybe I could just do like, 4 mattes or something like that, and just bring some singles and just do it all in one palette. Like that would be even more concise than having this in a singles palette. So I'm still kind of thinking about it. I mean, they do have their Christmas in July sale, so that might be a good time for me to, before the sale, so I guess I don't know when this video is going up, so I guess we'll see if I end up doing that, but I'm just kind of thinking about it now, like if I did something like that, if I picked out some shades and then that way, when this does need to go, because the shades are still actually working pretty well. They are still like feeling creamy and all that. So, but I know like it's not meant to last forever. So yeah, maybe I can do that versus just rebuying this, because I think buying like 5 or so shades would actually probably still be less than this palette. Although sometimes it goes on sale, but also the fact that I could do cardboard and not have to have a plastic container, and maybe not have, like I'm not going to feel super sad if I don't have these shades, because I know I have similar ones in other palettes and I don't care that I can't travel with them. And actually like some of my Sydney Grace singles are similar to these, and I just don't bring them for travel because I have this. So, maybe I would do that. Yeah, I'm kind of talking myself into it, but that's not for now, right now.
So, it turns out that I bought more than just a few Sydney Grace eyeshadows. I had seen this advertised and just kind of was like, oh, that's cool, and didn't really do much with it. Well, when I went just out of curiosity to maybe start a cart of which singles I might get, I saw this on the front page and I'm like, well, what shades are in there? Is it really that good a deal? And yeah, it is. So I went ahead and did it because I knew I'd be getting rid of a lot of my neutral palettes this year, maybe all. So I wanted to have some new things. And since I am a singles girl now, then this is what we're doing. So I am showing that I got the palette, and they also gave me 2 freebies as well. So I went through and labeled all the eyeshadows how they came, with just 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And then the extra one that wasn't labeled, I put 55. This one did have a label. There was another one that was labeled in the palette as well. And that one, I just put a number as well, just to keep it easy. And now the decision is, well, this isn't how I would want to arrange the shadows. I would want them grouped a little differently. So, how am I going to do it? But I don't quite know, sometimes eyeshadows don't swatch exactly how they look in the pan. So it's like, well, let me start grouping these eyeshadows and see, which ones look like they belong together and which ones, then I can swatch and kind of get in an order. So I'm going to let you watch me fumble through this a bit and I'll come back when I have something interesting to share. So I do have something interesting to talk about here. This eyeshadow, I thought it looked really interesting because it had bits of blue in it, and it might be a little tricky to see in the camera, but I was wondering how that was going to swatch. Does that mean it belongs with the blues? Not sure. Okay, and here we are getting everything pulled out. Some of these are a little easier to sort than others. Although, like I said, they definitely swatch differently than they look for some of them. So that will certainly mix things up more as I start doing that. Here I am, ready to swatch. Got my wet makeup eraser ready to go. So I'm going to start with the cream shades just to kind of see how creamy they look, how light, is that going to be good? Which so far that looks like it could be a dupe for that first shade in the Identity palette. And I thought initially I could just start putting them in the palette, just kind of cleaning it out, but I do end up deciding to readjust, remove everything. But oh yeah, here's like where I realized, oh, I don't have enough room to fit them all. And I'm just gonna cut back in here again just to kind of say what I was going for here. So the first row I had, it's like almost white, just creamy colored shades. So I was thinking maybe that would be my more like neutral type of row. And then the second row is more warm tones. And the third row is going to be more cool tones or pinky and purpley kinds of looks, things like that. So I was just trying to group things how they made sense and trying to go from lighter to darker, which is a little tricky because there were certainly shades that looked like they would be lighter than they were, or end up, not looking as dark as they seem and things like that. And some of them are definitely basically dupes for each other. So would I say that you need this whole palette? No, but it was a really good price. And like I said, I plan on decluttering a lot of palettes this year. And I feel like actually after swatching all the different ones, it really was showing me like, oh yeah, these are certain types of colors that I have in palettes that I'm not going to have. And they also just felt nicer. Some of them feel a little smoother than others, but in general, they all felt, like really nice quality, like I expect from Sydney Grace, which I like. And, here I'm trying to figure out how I'm making a connection between like purple, blue. Do I loop it or I just start over again? So this will give me some trouble for a bit, but, also trying to work within the size of the palette, because keep in mind, it holds 54, but then I have those extra 2 shades. So what do I want to do with them? Do I want to put both of them in and take something out? Do I want, one of them in, neither of them in? So these were decisions that I was going to be making. So again, there's that silvery blue shade, which I will say the one that has blue in it ended up being more just like a silver. So, I guess it's like those marble shades where you don't really get each color distinctly when you use it. It just swirls together. So here, I just wanted to show off these really pretty sparkly shadows just because they have like almost a duochrome type of quality. And I also just wanted to see how they look because keep in mind this is the same day that I got them, and so it's like I want to see how they are. And these two had looked really similar, so one came in the palette, the other was the freebie, and they were actually then different. And I've used both of them multiple times within the first few days of having this, so definitely some really pretty sparkles in here. got them the way I want them. Was able to fit the extra ones in my other palette. And I hope you enjoy this as much as I did making it. I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!